What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. Now, in case you missed it, which to be honest, probably most of you did, the Apple event today was all about the iPads. And yes, if you're watching this thinking, wait, there was an Apple event today? Yes, at 3 p.m. GMT in UK time, which I believe is like 10 a.m. on the East Coast of America and 7 a.m. Pacific. I don't know, I'll need to fact check it, but whatever time it was, it just made no sense. You're either in bed or in work. So, did Apple not want views? Anyway, Apple unveiled their new iPad lineup and their Apple Pencil Pro, or Apple Pro Pencil. Anyway, I'm the Average Dad, and I typically review devices from the Chinese market, including foldable phones, normal phones, and tablets. And over the past few months, I've reviewed a few very, very handy Android tablets. So I just want to talk about where the iPad sits in the tablet market, and that you're probably missing out on a better tablet with better specs for a lower price. Let's go. Now, in case we have any full-blown Apple fanboys watching this video ready to shit on me in the comments, I was, and to some degree still am, an Apple fanboy. I use a MacBook, I have an iPad Pro, I use an iPhone 15 Pro Max for filming videos. But over the past couple of years, I transitioned one area of my content slash productivity slash media creation work stream to Android. Actually, two areas, phone and tablet. I'm sticking with the MacBook. But the tablet I've decided to go for and stuck with for a couple of years is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. A 14.6 inch AMOLED, remember that, display. And it's about 5.5 millimeters thick. Remember that too. So, I've been using the Tab S8 Ultra and I love it so much that even I, the absolute tech addict, didn't upgrade to the Tab S9 Ultra because I had no reason to. And I mentioned over the last few months I've tested out a few other amazing Android tablets. Let's start with the Huawei. The Huawei MatePad Pro 13.2 inch, yes 13.2, not just 13, remember that figure, came out about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, and I loved it. I got that, I got the case, the keyboard case, the Huawei Pencil. All of that combined was roughly about £850. And what a bargain. The tablet itself was fantastic. The display, the brightness was very bright. I want to say around 1400 nits. The performance was good, even though it couldn't use a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, 2 or 3 chip. Huawei, in case you didn't know if you're living under a rock, they can't use those chips. But everything about that tablet was fantastic. And a bit later on down the line, I purchased a Xiaomi 14 Ultra and got given a Xiaomi Pad 6 for free. And while it was a budget tablet at under £400, in fact I think it's closer to £300, specs in it were fantastic. It was a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip in that one. Cameras were good. Not that I used my tablet for cameras. Another important thing to remember. But ultimately, a really good budget line. Absolutely not anything to compete with the iPad Pro. But I did say at the time that that was very much a competitor to the iPad Air. And sure enough, a few weeks later, I purchased the Xiaomi Pad 6 Pro, which was a direct competitor to the iPad Pro. So if you give yourself time and you want to look back at those reviews, please check them out. Or if you want to save yourself more time, you can't be bothered listening to any more of me chat, just look at the specifications online. Compare the iPad Air with the Xiaomi Pad 6. Then compare the Xiaomi Pad Pro with the iPad Pro. The most glaring difference you're going to see is the price. And as predicted with today's event, the new iPad Air fantastic. An iPad Air for £600. But then if you buy a case and a pencil, it's £900. Brilliant, Apple. Spot on. iPad Air 13-inch. A 13-inch display and a 15-inch body because the bezels on it are thick for £800 without a case, keyboard, pencil. So when you add that all in, you're over £1,000 for a 60Hz display iPad Air. Well done again, Apple. But really, what I wanted to talk about and what absolutely infuriates me about Apple these days is the absolute bullshit they talk on stage. Yes, the iPad Pro looks nice. Yes, it's 5.4 or 5.1 millimeters thin. So's my Tab S8 Ultra. It's got the new selfie lens and landscape orientation rather than the top of the device. So's my Tab S8 Ultra. Do you know one thing that's really interesting though about the whole marketing and the stage presentation they gave today? If you look back at any iPad release, and I mean this, any iPad release from the budget 10th generation to the iPad Air to the iPad Pros of past, they always talk about the speakers. And unless I was put to sleep during this event today, I don't remember them talking about the speakers. Is that because when you make a device thinner, it's very hard to make the sound better? So again, I might be wrong. You can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. If they did discuss it and talk about the speakers, I apologise. But I don't remember them talking about it, whereas we've heard about their spatial sound and all the other features that normally they have. And in fairness to Apple, speakers on all their devices are fantastic, but when you fart around too much and try and make things so thin, you're going to have to sacrifice some level of speaker quality. And then the other thing they droned about on stage is the chip. Apple done their usual, this is the M4 chip, it's 4 times faster than the M1, it's 3 million times faster than anything Intel could do. They done all that usual stuff without actually giving us hard facts. You can render Final Cut Pro twice as fast. Okay, prove it, show me. Do you care? Because this is the big one for me. A tablet generally is for media. A tablet generally might be for some productivity. What Apple are absolutely hammering these days is that you can use your tablet to film a movie, then edit it straight on the movie, then upload it straight from your tablet to YouTube or whatever platform you want to work from. And I'm just not buying it. Apple did have to say, even in their promotional video, you can now edit straight from the iPad connected to an external drive. You notice that? You're not going to be able to store everything on there. Your ProRes content, all that gimmicks and gubbins. The max you're going to get on an iPad is probably 1 terabyte, maybe 2 terabytes. But if you're one of those people that buys a 2 terabyte iPad, well done, you just spent over £2,000 on a fucking tablet. Something to watch Netflix or porn on. Wild. Absolutely mental. And I've noticed this from Apple over the years. I could almost guarantee that for 999 people out of 1,000, if I gave them my 2020 iPad Pro and also gave them the newest version that just got released today, they wouldn't be able to tell that it's now not mini LED, it's OLED. Which, by the way, the Samsung Tab S8 Ultra and many other tablets before it are AMOLED displays, which, with that extra film and the way that they charge the lights, might actually be a better technology. Certainly a more efficient technology. So, I don't know. I wanted to make this because people think that I've gone away from Apple and, I now only focus on Android or Chinese ROMs or foldable devices. That's not true. I will always focus on the right purchase decisions for you and for me. I want to give you buying advice where possible, while not telling you what to buy, just giving you all the facts. And facts-wise, I see 0.001% of the population, maybe even less than that, that's too high a number, 0.0000001% that will actually use the new iPad Pro to its full capabilities. And again, the base price for the iPad Pro 12.9 inch is £1,300. You can then treat yourself to extra storage, because that's only 256 gigabytes. Maybe you want a terabyte of storage, not even the max one. Okay, that'll be £1,700. And then do you want the pencil? That's £130. And then surely you want the keyboard folio case. That's £329. So congratulations, you've just spent £2,100 on an iPad with a case and a pencil. What are we doing here? How? For the same, in fact better, I would still argue, this is why I use a Tab S8 Ultra or an S9 Ultra. For the Tab S9 Ultra with half a terabyte of storage, with the Samsung Pen, with a folio case, the most you're going to spend is probably around £1,400. Normally a lot less than that with the deals, especially when these things are released. And I think that's what just irks me as well. When any other manufacturer release a new flagship device, like the iPad, it is a flagship device, you're going to get a case, a pencil thrown in as an incentive. When Samsung do this, they'll give you trade-ins, they'll give you a free case, they'll give you Disney Plus, they'll give you all these little perks that ultimately make it a much easier purchasing decision. But what Apple are doing, and it's going to work for them, but what they're doing is just relying on the fact that, well, they're Apple. So why would we give anything for free? Because people are going to buy it anyway. And they're right. And heck, might even buy it myself to review. It does look good, and it will be good. It's just not £2,000 good. It's just not necessary to have an M4 silicon chip inside. And it's also just not necessary to start bragging about how it's an OLED, a tandem OLED panel, and all this gubbins saying that you're the first to do this, you're the first to do that. You're not really though, are you? Anyway, the Apple event was today. This has been a 10-minute rant. I apologise, but I have to keep it real whenever possible. This video will get very few views because, rightly so, you're Android heads on my community, and I love you all for it. I'll be back soon with another episode of When Phones Failed. It's going to be a good one. It's a phone that you've all heard of, you've maybe all seen, not in the wild, but you've maybe all seen in YouTube reviews. I'm excited to get my hands on it. That'll probably be out tomorrow. So until then,